What if I told you that you were a square and that you had to fit inside the circular space? But you would say, I have pointy edges. I cannot fit as it is. Now, this is not just a problem that one or two people face. In today's global economy, Germany faces an acute labor shortage, and there are a lot of squares with pointy edges around the world that Germany needs. They want to also come to Germany, but they cannot just fit into the German circular economy. And this is where I present to you AMPT. And before going on to the product, consumer, and the competition, I would like to introduce myself first. My name is Shahmir Kazi. I have a master's in data science from one of the world's top reputed business schools. I have 7 years of experience in data and product, and I've moved countries a couple of times and different continents, so I know what it is like being a square. And now coming on to the product itself, diving right into it. So AMPT is an e-learning platform for the AI century. And the way the product is built is that it is based on a concept of a future you. So whenever somebody wants to move to Germany, they have a whole task list to complete. They have to apply for job interviews. They have to go through the whole process. It just becomes much, much easier if you are just paired with a future you who has charted the same path as you, and they help turbocharge your journey. And this is what the model is based on. Local professionals working here, guiding and mentoring foreign professionals already working in that field, and more about that later on. Coming on to the methodology of the product, how do we really achieve this? So we're targeting people who already have experience in that field. And it's based upon 3 pillars. So first of all, you'd be exposed to certain lectures, certain case studies that would really enhance your technical knowledge. Then we also work on really developing your resume and your portfolio. And slowly, when you go through our whole product, you engage into technical case studies and interview preparations. Then those really sharp, pointy edges that we talked about really smoothen down, and then you become a circle fit for the German economy. Coming on to the consumer persona, why is this really needed? Who is this really for? And here, I would like to just mention 3 main job occupations that we're targeting: software engineers, data engineers, data analysts, and machine learning AI professionals, data scientists. These are the core businesses and the core communities and the job profiles that we'll be targeting. And now this slide is a bit dense, but please do stay with me. This is really why it is needed. We're targeting people with 2 years of professional experience who are sort of eligible for the chance card and other schemes as well, but they don't have the luxury of leaving their job and then applying for a master's. They cannot enroll into the current boot camps because they cannot afford that price tag that comes up front with it. They're not here in the market, so they can't really apply for the Agentur für Arbeit subsidies or other opportunities that, for example, I would have if I'm already over here. So this is where that need comes in. They are skilled. The German economy also needs them, but they have this sort of cash-strapped situation that I just mentioned. And now coming on to the comparative analysis as well. So we talked about the product, the customers, but what is the different? What would make AMPT more successful? The first USP that I really want to mention is the future you concept we talked about. So while staying at par with that skill level and that learning that we provide, we're providing a more localized experience, and that allows the person to really turbocharge the journey, become more successful. The next 3 slides that you would see, on the x-axis you would see cost, and on the left you will see multiple various aspects that masters and boot camps also provide, and they're doing a very good job at it. But for the customers that AMPT is targeting, cash and cost is a big aspect, and that's where you see that we're at par with learning by doing, with the 3 basic pillars I talked to you about, case studies and preparations. We're also at par with being job-focused, and because we're also offering a scheme, and I'll come on to scheme later on, that job guarantee is also there. So we're at par on the vectors of performance, but cost is slightly lower for us. And now, in the questions later on, I'll also want to talk about the pricing strategies and the sustainability aspects and the finances. And for now, I thank you for your time, and thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Perfect. Thank you so much, Shahmir. Now we're going to have 3 minutes for the jury. Oh, I loved it. Okay, let's go.
Well, you just said it, right? Like, what's your pricing model? You didn't pitch it now.
Yeah, good. I think I'll just go back to my slides then. So just answer the question. So if you see on the graph on the top left, we start with a pricing of 3,000 euros per a customer, and they would undergo a 3 to 4 month program for that. And it really boils down to one session being around 100, 125 euros. So that's what causes a lower price index compared to the current boot camps and the master's program. Of course, as we establish ourselves in the market, and we also want to pay the trainers approximately 100 to 150 per hour, we'll have to sort of scale up and increase the cost year on year by about 10%. That's what I anticipate. I hope that answers the question.
Hey, Shahmir, you mentioned something about the future you. So question is this future you a human? And if so, what's the incentive around it, and how do you connect the AI to it?
Sorry, the last part of the question, how do I?
Because if a human is at the other end, or the solution, then is there an AI aspect to this?
Yes, definitely. So I think I should have been a bit faster with slides as well, but thank you for the question. The future you is a person. And for example, imagine a data engineer working in Germany for the past 5, 10 years. He really knows the system. He is part of the hiring committee for a lot of top companies. And if that person is really linked as a mentor to our student who already has 2, 3 years of experience, that really turbocharges the process. So the mentor is a person, and the recommender system, the whole AI aspect comes in really when that person is interacting with our courses. We see their weak points, and really when we're collecting data for them, as one of the slides earlier also mentioned, we also follow a B2B policy whereby all the profiles would be on the portal, and companies can also be recommended certain candidates for that. So AI is built into the whole technical solution of the product. It comes in multiple bits and pieces, but the data points, really, the way we collect them is through the humans.
You just said it a little bit. You just said it a little bit. What about the future employers? Do you have a matchmaking platform in there already because 3,000 euro is a good price, isn't it? So if you have a future employer, he could take this 3,000.
Yes, exactly. So the first pricing was that, yes, the customer pays upfront or a learn now, pay later scheme. But the second one was exactly as you see on your screen right now. If the candidate undergoes our program and the company says that, yes, we found a good fit, 3,000 is something that the companies would be willing to pay. It really reduces that 3 to 4 month hiring process and all the things that come with it. So definitely that's part of the idea that, yes, companies could also then sort of sponsor it. Does that answer the question? I hope. Thank you.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much for being the first one here on stage.
Thank you very much for the time and the opportunity.
Yeah, thank you so much.